Have you noticed your legs feeling weaker lately? Maybe it's a little harder to get up from your favorite recliner. Or perhaps you've started using your hands to push yourself off the couch. Some days, walking across the kitchen feels like a chore, and stairs, they suddenly feel like mountains. But what if I told you the problem might not just be age? It could be a habit you're doing every single day without even realizing it. Here's the truth most doctors never mention until it's too late. There's one common daily behavior that slowly chips away at your muscles, especially in your legs. It doesn't come with loud warnings or sharp pains. Instead, it creeps in silently. One day you're steady on your feet. The next you're reaching for walls and furniture just to balance. The scariest part? It's something millions of seniors do every day and think nothing of it. But here's the good news. Once you understand this habit and make just a few small changes, your body can start to repair itself. Yes, even over 60, so stay with. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to change and how to get your strength back. Let's take a moment to picture a very familiar scene. You wake up in the morning, stretch a little, maybe shuffle to the bathroom, and then you sit down for breakfast. After that, it's a bit of TV, or maybe reading the newspaper in your favorite chair. Before you know it, it's lunchtime. You've been sitting for most of the morning, and chances are, unless you're purposely going out for a walk or doing some form of light exercise, the afternoon looks pretty similar. This pattern, while it may feel calm, relaxed, and even deserved, after a lifetime of work, actually hides a dangerous trap for your body. And this trap has a name: sedentary living. Now, let me be clear. This isn't about blaming anyone. You've earned your rest. But what the body interprets as rest, when done in excess, slowly becomes decline. And that's especially true after the age of 60. Here's why. Our muscles, particularly in the legs, operate on a use it or lose it rule. When they're not being challenged or activated, they start to shrink. This process is called sarcopenia, and it doesn't happen overnight. It's a slow, silent weakening of the very foundation of your mobility. Think about how many daily movements rely on your legs. Standing up from the toilet, climbing into bed, picking up a dropped item, stepping out of a car, even catching your balance if you trip slightly. Every one of these things requires strong legs and stable coordination. But if those muscles are shrinking a little more every day from too much sitting or long periods of inactivity, you're not just getting tired more easily. You're becoming more fragile, more prone to falls, and less independent. And here's the really tough part. Many seniors don't even realize it's happening. They chalk it up to aging. They say, well, I guess I'm just getting old. But what if it's not just age? What if it's that quiet, daily routine, the hours spent sitting, the skipped walks, the subtle loss of movement, that's doing more damage than time ever could? A woman named Helen reached out recently. She's 74, widowed, and has always been reasonably healthy. But this past year, she noticed her legs felt tired all the time, and she started avoiding stairs. She thought maybe it was just her joints or maybe some arthritis. But when she saw a physical therapist, they told her something surprising. Her leg muscles were weakening, not because of her bones, but because she was sitting for nearly 10 hours a day. Between meals, TV, reading, and afternoon naps, she was unintentionally teaching her body to become weaker. She was detraining her own strength, and Helen is not alone. In fact, research shows that the average senior adult spends more than 60% of their waking hours sitting or lying down. That's nearly 2/3 of the day with almost no muscle engagement. And every hour spent still is an hour the body loses a little more resilience. So yes, there's a habit, a surprisingly simple one, that shrinks your muscles over time. And it's not something dramatic. It's the stillness, the long stretches of not moving, the gentle erosion of strength from a lifestyle that feels comfortable but doesn't challenge the legs to do their job. But here's the critical part. Just as easily as this problem begins, it can also begin to reverse. The human body, even in older age, has a remarkable ability to rebuild strength if it's given the right signals. And that's where we're headed next. Because if you can understand what's happening and start making small but powerful changes, you can rebuild. You can feel stronger again. And it all starts by noticing what's stealing your strength in the first place. Now that we understand how daily stillness can quietly weaken your legs, let's take a deeper look at what this habit is really doing inside your body. Not just on the outside where we feel the fatigue, but at the core level where the damage truly begins. You see, our muscles are made up of fibers, and these fibers need regular use to stay strong, nourished, and responsive. When we move, especially through things like walking, bending, standing, or even just balancing our weight, we're sending a message to our muscles. Stay alive, stay ready, stay strong. But when we go hours without that message, when we remain seated or motionless for long periods, those same fibers begin to shrink. Not only that, but your body starts to assume that you don't need them anymore. And so it begins redirecting energy elsewhere, and the muscles are left to quietly wither. It's not just about muscle loss either. Sitting for long periods changes your circulation, your metabolism, and even your balance signals. When you're still for too long, blood flow to the legs slows down. That's why many people experience swollen ankles or numb feet after sitting for extended periods. The oxygen and nutrients that would normally fuel your muscles have a harder time getting there, and over time, this poor circulation becomes the new normal. That means your muscles aren't just shrinking, they're starving. Then there's your nervous system. It plays a critical role in strength. Every time you move, your brain sends signals through your nerves to activate your muscles. These signals help coordinate movement, maintain balance, and adjust your posture as needed. But when you sit for hours, those communication pathways get dull. It's like a phone line that hasn't been used in a while. The connection gets slower, more static-filled. This is why, when seniors who are sedentary suddenly try to move quickly, say, when answering a doorbell or reaching for a falling item, their muscles don't respond fast enough. The signal is delayed. That's how falls happen. Now let's talk about what that means emotionally. Because muscle loss isn't just physical. It chips away at your confidence. When you start to feel unsure on your feet, you begin to avoid walking outside alone. You may say no to invitations that involve standing or moving around too much. You start planning your day around how close the next chair is. And before you know it, your world becomes smaller, not because you chose it, but because your body started failing to support you. I remember a gentleman named Raymond, 78 years old, who shared that he once loved gardening. It was his joy to tend to his tomato plants every morning. But last spring, he told his daughter he didn't feel steady enough to walk on the grass anymore. He'd had a close call, where he stumbled while reaching for his hose. No injury, thankfully, but the experience rattled him. So he stopped gardening altogether. His legs became even weaker after that. And just like that, his passion, his connection to nature, and a major part of his happiness slipped away. This is how it happens for so many. It's not one dramatic fall or one specific illness. It's the slow drip of stillness, day after day, that silently takes your strength and steals your freedom. And the most heartbreaking part? Most seniors don't even realize it's happening until it's already affected their lives. They say, "I'm just not as spry as I used to be," or "these legs don't move like they did." But deep down, it's not just aging, it's disuse. And disuse is a choice we can gently start to reverse. This is not a life sentence. The body, even after years of quiet decline, can respond beautifully when you begin to nourish it, move it, and love it again. The first step is understanding the damage. The next is discovering the hope. Let's take a deep breath together now, because everything we've talked about so far, the weakening muscles, the quiet loss of strength, the shrinking confidence, is not the end of the story. In fact, for many seniors, this is the moment where everything begins to turn around. Because here's the powerful truth. The human body is astonishingly resilient. It's never too late to start regaining what you've lost. Your legs, your balance, your freedom, they're still within reach. And the best part? You don't need fancy equipment, gym memberships, or hours of strenuous workouts. You just need the right habit and a new rhythm to your day. Let me tell you about Dolores, a 72-year-old retired teacher who spent years thinking her fatigue was just part of getting older. She used to nap every afternoon and rarely walked more than a few hundred steps a day. But after learning that inactivity was shrinking her muscles, she made one small decision. She set a kitchen timer for every 30 minutes during the day. Every time it went off, she'd stand up and do a quick lap around the house, maybe march in place for 60 seconds. That's it. Nothing fancy. But she stayed consistent. 3 weeks later, she said her legs felt lighter. By the second month, she was no longer using her hands to get up from the couch. By the third, she was back to visiting her community garden on weekends. Dolores didn't turn her life around with a dramatic overhaul. She simply replaced the quiet damage of stillness with small, steady bursts of motion. She made her body feel needed again. And your body, yes, even right now, is ready to respond in the same way. The amazing thing about our muscles, especially in the legs, is that they begin rebuilding as soon as we start using them again. Light walking, regular standing, even just balancing on one foot while brushing your teeth can start to reawaken those sleeping muscle fibers. The nerves begin firing again. Circulation improves. And your legs, like forgotten engines, begin warming. Back up. There's something beautifully hopeful about that. Because unlike some conditions that require medications or surgeries, muscle loss from inactivity responds to something simple. Movement. Not painful movement. Not exhausting movement. Just enough movement to remind your body what it's capable of. And here's the other part many don't realize. It's not just physical strength you regain. It's also your confidence, your sense of control, your independence. When you know your legs can support you again. When you stand up without wobbling or take the stairs without second guessing. A light comes back into your life. You stop avoiding things. You start looking forward to them again. Even science supports this hope. Numerous studies show that seniors who incorporate just 15 to 20 minutes of light movement spread throughout the day, not all at once, can reverse the effects of sarcopenia. That means more muscle, better posture, steadier walking, and fewer falls. In fact, the World Health Organization has found that even low-intensity leg activity, done regularly, can improve life expectancy and quality of life for adults over 65. They don't need punishing workouts. They just need regular reminders that they matter. And this one habit, standing or walking briefly every 30 minutes, delivers exactly that message. Let's make this real. Say you're watching your favorite TV show in the afternoon. Instead of sitting through all 3 episodes in a row, stand up during each commercial break. Or during a movie, press pause halfway through and walk around the room for 60 seconds. That's not exercise. That's maintenance. That's you telling your body, hey, I still need you. If you're reading a book, listening to the radio, or even working on a puzzle, set a small timer nearby. Every time it goes off, use that moment to simply get up, maybe do 10 slow marches in place, or take a trip to the kitchen and back. Not because you're training, but because you're protecting the foundation of your independence. I worked with a retired electrician named Paul, 76, who swore he wasn't the exercise type. He told me flat out, if it involved sweating or special shoes, I'm out. But when I shared this approach with him, just moving every 30 minutes, he gave it a shot. He placed a sticky note on his coffee table that said, "Stand up," strong, and every half hour he stood, stretched his legs, and took a few deep breaths. After 2 weeks, he noticed his knees weren't creaking as much. A month later, he could get up from his chair without groaning or holding the armrests. His doctor said his circulation had improved. Paul didn't change his whole life. He changed one habit, and it changed his life for him. That's the power of consistency. And the beauty of this solution is that it's tailored perfectly for seniors. You don't have to overhaul your day. You don't need gym memberships, apps, or even motivation. You just need to remember that your body is listening, and every time you move, even just a little, it listens even more. Do one more thing. Tap the like button, not for me, but for yourself. It's a simple way to say, I'm choosing my health today. And if you're ready for more guidance on aging stronger, click subscribe. We have more videos coming with tips on better movement, leg-friendly foods, and daily habits that truly work for seniors like you. Leave a comment and tell me, what's one habit you'll try this week? Will you stand more during commercials? Take a short walk after breakfast? Your comment might just help someone else take their first step too. You are not alone in this. You're part of a community of strong, wise, and resilient people who still have so much life ahead. Let's keep moving together. Now that you know how movement helps protect your muscles, let's talk about a few simple foods and habits that give your legs even more strength, gently, naturally, and without turning your life upside down. First, focus on adding more protein to your meals. As we age, our muscles need more protein than they used to in order to stay strong. An easy place to start? Eggs. They're affordable, easy to prepare, and packed with the amino acids your muscles crave. 1 or 2 scrambled eggs with toast or spinach in the morning can make a real difference. Another great option is Greek yogurt. It's creamy, high in protein, and easy to digest. Add a spoonful of chia seeds or some berries, and you've got a powerful little snack that feeds your legs what they need to rebuild. Let's not forget leafy greens like spinach and kale. These are rich in magnesium and potassium, which help keep your muscles from cramping. A small salad at lunch or adding greens to soup or an omelet gives your body a quiet edge in the fight against weakness. Hydration is another key. When muscles don't get enough water, they cramp, stiffen, and weaken faster. Keep a glass or water bottle nearby. Maybe set it next to your TV remote or in the kitchen and sip regularly. You can also enjoy herbal teas or lemon water if plain water feels dull. And here's a lovely, easy movement trick. Stand on one leg while brushing your teeth or washing dishes. Just hold the counter for support. These little balance exercises help reawaken stabilizing muscles in your legs. Finally, if you're up for it, take a 10-minute walk after meals. Not only does it help with digestion, but it also signals to your legs, hey, we're still needed. Each of these choices is small, but together they form a powerful defense against muscle loss. So here we are, at the end of this journey, but hopefully at the beginning of a new one for you. If you've made it this far, I want to thank you. You've taken the time to understand what's really happening inside your body. You've listened with care, not just to this video, but to the signals your legs have been trying to send you. And that tells me something important.